I was just sitting on my camera and I was lowering the tripod and it just fell into this perfect Dutch angle that reminds me of the 1966 Batman series. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my parents' basement, your parents' basement, our parents' basement, and we're sitting here on the floor in my beloved theater room because it's been a long time since I've done one of these videos, but I feel like it's time for a Blu Ray collection update. I've said this before, I'll say it again, I am going to be getting a new shelf in the next month or so, and I don't mean to promise videos that aren't going to happen because this happens way too often, where I say I'm going to do a video and then I end up not doing that video, but that's just how life goes sometimes. Sometimes you gotta make empty promises. But, I want to get a shelf this month because I'm out of room, but I'm expecting more Blu-rays. And when I get that shelf, I'm going to reorganize my movies, because I have to take them off this shelf and put them on the new shelf, because this is going to be the reserve second shelf, because the other shelf I want to get will be bigger than this one, and it will be in this one's spot. So all the movies will probably be here, and then I'll have another one like over there on that side of the room or something. And then, so either way, all the movies have to come off. So I figured when I do that, I'll make a Blu-ray collection video, because they'll all have to come off anyway. And right now they're in alphabetical order, and I even got some movies over here on my TV stand. And so to take them all off, put them in alphabetical order on the floor, go through them randomly, and then put them back somehow up alphabetically ordered is a nightmare, and it scares me to think about. But if I can justify it by having to take it off already for the shelf, the new shelf, that makes it better, and that makes it okay. But that being said, I still kind of wanted to talk about the new Blu-rays I got. And so this video I'm going to talk about all the Blu-rays that I got this summer, because summer's almost over, and because I'll be buying that shelf, I probably won't be buying any more Blu-rays. I still do have one coming in the mail, as if I pre-ordered it. But I just told you about that one, my nose itches. And so I don't need to tell you about it. But I bought a lot of Blu-rays this summer. I'm over here because I also have TV shows. TV shows are right here. I do have some TV shows intermingled. It just depends on how I can justify it or not. But the reason why I'm over here for TV shows is because this summer I picked up one of my favorite TV shows that came out for the first time on Blu-ray in America. We've got Columbo. This is the 1970s edition. This is all the seasons from the 1970s. And then I've got, this came out in December of 2023, but I just couldn't justify buying it until I knew for sure that the rest of the series was going to come out. And so this came out in July, pre-ordered it, got it. This is Columbo: The Return, his run from 1989 to 2003, when it came back on, was it ABC? I forget if it was ABC or CBS. I think it was ABC. This was originally on NBC, and then it came back for ABC. But to have this show on Blu-ray, this is one of the best shows that ever existed. The creative How You Catch 'Em. Columbo is a great character. Peter Falk is a brilliant actor. If you have not seen any Columbo, definitely do watch it. But I had to pick this up because I've kind of envisioned my life of not having any cable or YouTube TV or anything like that. Everything that I'm going to watch is either going to be on YouTube or I'm going to own it. I don't want to pay money for unnecessary stuff like that. Now, is that how it's going to be? I don't know. Probably not. But I need to have, it makes me feel better owning this, because I can come and hold it. I can watch these anytime I want. I don't have to worry about if they've been recorded, if they're airing. I know I have them and I always will have them. But it is a great show. If you've never seen it, definitely check it out. So very happy to have this on Blu-ray. And before we continue with this Blu-ray collection update, I'm going to open up a sparkling ice. This is strawberry citrus. I've never tried this flavor. I am desperate to be sponsored by ice. Sparkling ice. I don't need cash. Pay me in delicious sparkling ice. So here we go. Oh. Never had that flavor before, and I like it. Some of the movies I got during this summer of Blu-rays, I got Jaws 2. This was a part of a Amazon sale where you buy at least 3 movies and you get them each for $11. So Jaws 2 is one that I had been meaning to pick up on 4K, and I bought it. It didn't come with a slipcover, which kind of sucked. But the funny thing is, the Jaws sequels 2, 3, and 4 are always sold separately, or they're always sold together or separately. You could never buy Jaws, Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and Jaws 4 in one big set. And part of me thinks that's because Universal knows what they did, and they're trying to rectify the mistake and hope. If you already know about the sequels, you already know. There's nothing you can do. But if you don't know, they're trying to keep it that way. But I bought Jaws 2 because I'm kind of a completionist. I don't really like any of the Jaws sequels, but I like to have them just in case one day I feel like being a wild and crazy guy and watching them. So I got Jaws 2. And then, again, there's a Target sale. Buy one, get one 50% off. I bought Jaws 2, or Jaws 3 and Jaws 4. Or Jaws the Revenge, rather. Got the nice slipcovers on these ones, though. That's nice. Makes me feel better about who I am and what I'm doing in life when I have a slipcover. Because then I can just go here. Just looking at the slipcover, I don't know, it just makes me feel better about myself. But I don't really like any of the Jaws sequels, like I said. But I just like having them because I know that if a dark and rainy day ever happens, or I just feel like torturing myself, I can go watch these movies. 2 other movies that I got off of that Target sale was Monkey Man. I had wanted to see Monkey Man. And I don't mind. The thing is, most of the movies that I watch, I would buy and own because I have this weird affliction where if I feel like there's even a 1% chance I'd watch a movie again, I have to have it. And I never seen Monkey Man, but I figured, I took a gamble on myself. I like Dev Patel. I took a gamble and I said, I like the people involved enough to warrant a blind buy, which I do way too often, but I don't regret it, and I will keep doing it, to buy it blindly. I watched it. I did enjoy it. It wasn't as good as I thought or hoped it would be, but it wasn't that bad. But another movie that I blindly purchased because I really wanted to see it, Civil War. I know this movie was kind of, it kind of had a mixed bag. Some people really liked it, some people hated it. I was of the school of thought where I thought it was going to be more about a social commentary than what it actually ended up being, but what it still was, I really, really, really liked. I thought this movie was really good. I saw some people saying like they didn't get it or they thought it was boring. I completely got it and I didn't think it was boring at all. It is brutally real, very violent, but in a good way. And it reminded me of Michael Mann a lot. It had a lot of beautiful Michael Mann type shots. And I really did like this movie a lot. 2 movies I got off the Amazon sale. Buy at least 3, get them for $11. I've got the Maltese Falcon. I'm a very big Humphrey Bogart fan. He's one of my favorite actors and probably my favorite old school Hollywood actor. But the Maltese Falcon, this is one of the movies that you could include in his rise to fame. This one in High Sierra were 2 of the main ones that really put him on a level that he hadn't reached before. And Maltese Falcon is a classic detective noir film, directed by John Huston, who also used this movie as kind of a stepping stone that really launched him into popularity, and he's one of the all-time great noir, old classic Hollywood directors. And then I also bought Casablanca. I've been meaning to get this for a while, so I was able to pick it up. Fortunately, though, this did not come with a slipcover, but I desperately needed it, so I bought one off eBay for only $3, which I thought was pretty good. But Casablanca is... A lot of people say, oh, this is my favorite movie of all time, this is the best movie ever made, and a lot of people think you're just blowing smoke when you say that. They think you're trying to be a tryhard. But I really do admire this movie. I love this movie so much. It is truly as great as all those people say. Humphrey Bogart's great in it. Ingrid Bergman's great in it. Really well directed. I love the pacing. And Warner Brothers re-released a new modern trailer for this release. Go watch the trailer. It's one of the best trailers I ever saw in my whole life. That Amazon sale also brought The Green Mile into my life. I love The Green Mile. This is still in the plastic. I haven't watched the 4K yet, but I have seen this film. I was hoping for a slipcover, but I cry to sleep at night because I don't have one. Green Mile, really like this movie. Another Frank Darabont, Stephen King adaptation. There was a point in time where I maybe liked this more than The Shawshank Redemption, but I think Shawshank nowadays gets my vote. And then I bought Barbie. It was only $11. I didn't love Barbie as much as everyone else did. And I didn't hate it as much as some other people did too. I thought it was a fine movie. I thought it was about an average movie. I think it had a lot of things that it wanted to explore, and it should have picked a few less. It should have picked the ones that it really wanted to talk about, because it tries to juggle a lot of stuff, and some of it gets it gets very crowded. But I did respect it. I love Ryan Gosling in this movie. I love I'm Just Ken. Sometimes I'll just randomly start singing that song. But for only $11, couldn't go wrong. You know my philosophy. If I'm gonna ever watch it, slightest chance, I gotta have it. So gotta have it. Another one I picked up from that Amazon sale was the Poltergeist, or not the Poltergeist, a classic horror film that I remember watching with my dad and my sister was probably a little bit too young to watch it, but I don't think she remembers anything of it. So good thing that she blocked that out, but a classic film nonetheless. The last two I picked up from that sale, if I remember correctly, was Blue Beetle. Again, no slipcover. Makes me feel sick. But I'm a completionist. I want to get all the DCEU. I haven't seen this one yet, but I know people were talking that it was actually kind of good. So I've been meaning to check it out, but for $11, I want to complete the whole DCEU anyway, so I figured, why the heck not? And then I bought Mask of the Phantasm. Again, no slipcover. This one really devastated me. This is probably, I think, the best Batman movie ever. I know it's hard to say that because it's only like 70 minutes and it's animated and people will be up in their arms about it. But Kevin Conroy is my favorite Batman. Mark Hamill is the best Joker. And this is a great, great movie. Glad to have it on 4K because they restored the theatrical aspects ratio. And it looks as great as it's ever going to look. So I had to pick this one up. But for Criterion, I picked up 2 movies. Like I said, if I picked up everything out, some people buy like 30 and I'm super jealous. I wish I had enough disposable income to do that. But I bought The New World by Terrence Malick. I watched this movie on HBO Max. And I had mixed feelings about it because I don't like this romantic fantasy Pocahontas tale where you talk about a bunch of crap that didn't happen. She was like 12, 13. She had no romantic connection with John Smith. She might not have even met him because he doesn't talk about her until after she dies, famously. So I don't really like all that stuff, but it does blend that kind of romantic tale with a lot of realism. And I thought that's kind of cool. It's like if you took the Disney Pocahontas and mushed it together with the real story, you'd get this movie, The New World. But Terrence Malick directed this thing so beautifully. It looks like it is a documentary from someone that time traveled back to this time. It has gorgeous cinematography, and I really do enjoy looking at it. This comes with the theatrical cut, the director's cut, and then I think the first cut. I think I saw the theatrical cut, so I'm looking forward to watching the director's cut, see if it's any better. It is way longer, though. It's almost 3 hours, when the theatrical cut's like 2 hours and like 16 minutes or something. So I'm looking forward to watching that, just to see how much different it is. Hopefully it's not overindulgent. And then I picked up a movie that I'd never seen before, but really wanted to watch. It's Martin Scorsese's After Hours, and I have watched this since I bought it off the Criterion sale, and I love this movie. This is one of my favorite Scorsese movies. It's so funny and bombastic, and just, I really loved everything about it. And part of me felt like the main character, Paul Hackett. Yeah, Paul Hackett. I just loved how he was running around getting into one problem after another, and everyone just kind of was the craziest person that he had ever met up until he met the next person. And the bad luck that is constantly just steamrolling him into the night. But I really love this movie. And this is the last original Martin Scorsese movie, 1985. Every movie he's made since then has been either based off of a real person or a book, or both. And I thought that was shocking. I wish he would do more original movies. Not to say that the movies he's done since '85 have been bad. He's made classics, all-time greats since then. But I really liked this After Hours film. I loved it so much. It was so good. If you haven't seen After Hours, definitely do check it out because you are missing a great deal of iconic imagery if you haven't seen it. You see this? This isn't even the half of it. Oh man, we got a lot more movies to talk about, so bear with me. Let's take another drink before we dive in. There's one I missed still, actually, from the Amazon sale. It's The Meg 2. This movie treats you like you're the biggest idiot in the world. But I have the first one, and I like the fact that I can sit down, turn off my brain. I can imagine myself eating Domino's New York-style cheese pizza with pepperoni and mushroom on, watching this movie, and feeling like everything's okay with the world. So I wanted to pick that one up. And then I wanted to do a 4K upgrade of The Firm. Bought this off eBay for like 20 bucks. Got the slipcover, which is out of print, hard to find. Usually if it comes with a slipcover, it's $50, $60. So the fact that I was able to buy it for about retail with the slipcover really meant a lot because I love slipcovers. What can I say? Then I suppose I'll cut in between this Blu-ray stack to grab another 4K that I bought with the slipcover. Phantom Thread. I absolutely love this movie. This might be my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Maybe my favorite Daniel Day-Lewis performance. I love this movie, and this is the out-of-print original release version with the clear 4K case, reversible cover, and slip cover. All really hard to find. I bought this for like $20, which again is like retail. And this is the out-of-print version that usually goes for like $60, so I thought that was another good steal. And now I suppose we'll dive into the Blu-rays. So there's a couple out-of-print Blu-rays that I wanted to get, and I think if you're a Blu-ray collector, pawn shops and eBay really help you because a lot of people will be getting rid of Blu-rays and you can buy 3, get 1 free, and they'll all average out to about $4, and that's a huge steal, especially if it's like an out-of-print one or one that's hard to get or one that's like $8 or $9 on Walmart or something. So that's what a lot of these are. Some of these are out of print. Some of these are still available, but I bought them. But basically, all these average out to about $4. And I thought that's a really great steal, especially since some of these I really wanted. And other ones I just needed to buy a movie because it was buy 3, get 1 free. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll get this one free or buy this one so I can get another one free. Because if you're going to buy 2, you might as well buy 1 more so you get that free one, you know? But the first one up, Crazy Stupid Love. I hadn't ever seen this movie, but I really wanted to see it because I heard a lot of great things about it. I heard that it was underrated and not at all what you expect. And I've since watched it. It is a really great movie. Steve Carell is great in this film. Ryan Gosling, hilarious. Then I bought Edge of Darkness with Mel Gibson. This is a movie that I wanted to see. I have yet to watch it. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it, but I heard a lot of good things about it. And so I'm looking forward to seeing that. The plot sounds really cool. Then I bought Extraordinary Measures. I know what you're thinking. Why would you buy Extraordinary Measures on Blu-ray? I'm a Harrison Ford fanatic. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Harrison Ford is my favorite actor. And I just like to have his movies on Blu-ray. Because if I'm ever feeling it, sometimes I get in the mood, I want to watch a Harrison Ford movie. And I just like having a lot of options. I can't really explain it much more than that. But watch this movie. It's fine. It's not great. It's a typical kind of feel-good kind of movie. J. Edgar on Blu-ray with Leonardo DiCaprio, Clint Eastwood. I've only seen this movie once. I was kind of in the mood to watch it again. I wanted to own it, and it was like $3. I remember liking it, but not loving it, so I want to watch it again. The Judge. I actually bought this new, even though it came out in like 2014. That was crazy to me. It was still in the cellophane, and a slipcover. I watched this movie on Netflix, and I really, really liked it. This was right in the height of Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, one of the few movies that he did while being Iron Man outside of the MCU. This is a phenomenal movie. I'm surprised more people don't talk about this film. It is a classic movie that I feel like would have been made in the 90s. That would be like a TV show if it was made today. It is a really good movie. I really liked it. Great Robert Downey Jr. performance with a great Robert Duvall performance too. Really well. There's some subplots that I feel like should have been cut because I feel like they don't do anything to Robert Downey Jr.'s character or the story as a whole. But overall, I did really enjoy that movie. Then we got Monuments Men, another one that was unopened, still in the plastic. I watched this movie once on HBO one time. I really like history. I really like stuff revolving around the Nazis' real-life obsession with artifacts that we often see, like Indiana Jones. That's all based in reality, so I wanted this just because I really like that stuff. I don't remember I thought the movie when I first watched it was kind of like eh, but I want to rewatch it just to see how I feel about it. Then we got From Hell. When I first watched this movie, I was like, eh, but it really, really grew on me, and I was desperate to watch it again. I really, really wanted to watch it again, so I bought this off eBay because it's out of print. I really, really liked how this movie grew on me. It's weird. There's some elements about this that are historically accurate. There's some that are not. Obviously, there's only so much we really know about Jack the Ripper. It will never be solved just because we're so far removed from it. But I really did enjoy the vibes of this movie at the very least. And I bought this movie for, I think, $9.99. And that was as cheap as I could find it on eBay. In addition to, it came with another movie. So I essentially got another movie for free. That's the way I looked at it, at least. Either way, I got 2 movies for $9.99. In reality, I would have paid for the $9.99 just for this, so I got another movie for free. Don't Tell a Soul. I had never heard about this movie. I just got it, like I said, because it was essentially free with From Hell. And I watched it. It actually stars the main lead from Dunkirk, and I was shocked because I didn't know that till I had finished the movie. It's not a. It's like a. I don't know how to describe it. I hated this movie and I liked this movie at the same time. It's kind of convoluted. It's kind of overacted at some points. Some of it doesn't make as much sense as I think the people involved would have liked it to. But I didn't hate it. And it's a movie that I feel like not a lot of people probably own, so it's kind of cool to say, hey, you ever heard of this movie? Probably not. Then I got Wyatt Earp. I'm a big Kevin Costner guy, what can I say? This came out within the year of Tombstone, and they got compared a lot right off the bat. But Lawrence Kasdan directed this movie, and he is famous for writing Empire Strikes Back and Raiders of the Lost Ark. And there's another movie that he directed that I really like, but I can't think of it right now, but it's out there. But Wyatt Earp, I once started this on Netflix, but I started really late. I didn't know it was 3 hours because I was stupid and a little bit younger than I am now. Way younger than I am now, in fact. But I never got to finish it. So I'm looking forward to finish it. I liked the first half that I did see. Then we got Walk Among the Tombstones, another movie that I bought that came from eBay, new in the packaging. I have since opened it. I really like Walk Among the Tombstones. Liam Neeson's one of the most underrated actors out there. And some people might be sad that he kind of divulged his career into doing action movies about family members being taken or being random Joe Schmoes that are forced to find somebody on a train or stop an airplane hijacking, whatever it may be. But I like Liam Neeson, and I remember watching this movie some odd years back and really, really liking it. It's one of my favorite Liam Neeson movies of this era of Liam Neeson. So glad to own that on Blu Ray with a slipcover. Then I got Public Enemies. This is one of my favorite Michael Mann movies, and that's not really saying much because in my ranking it's probably towards the bottom. I love every Michael Mann movie. He's probably one of my favorite directors. Really like Public Enemies. Love Christian Bale. Johnny Depp's really good in this movie. I like this setting, and the fact that it was filmed on location is really, really cool. Wish more people would do that. Then we got Safe House. This was one of the movies that I was like, oh, why not? I need another movie to get a free movie, so why not buy this movie? I like Denzel. I like Ryan Reynolds. Slipcover. We'll give it a shot. I haven't watched it yet, so we're looking forward to checking that one out. It'll probably be mediocre, but I don't really care. Night and Day, speaking of mediocre, James Mangold directed this one. I love Tom Cruise, one of my favorite actors. I love everything that he does, and I actually really like this movie. I know a lot of people could talk about this movie being a generic piece of crap, but I like it. It's a generic, fluffy, fun time. It's Tom Cruise juice. That's weird. I like that movie. And again, with a slipcover is cool. Then we got The Iron Claw. I didn't like this movie as much as I thought I was going to. I didn't like this movie as much as I thought I was going to. Almost died there. I think that's part of it's because I am a professional wrestling fan in real life, and therefore I know the real life story more than average people do. I felt like this movie was very constrained by its budget. I felt that there were so many things that were just kind of done because they were running out of money. Like, we don't even see Kerry win the world title against Ric Flair in Texas. We see Kevin, Zac Efron, standing in the aisle as it happens. And then everything feels like it happens so quickly. If you really like this movie, you should go watch the Dark Side of the Ring Von Erich family documentary. It's on YouTube. Watch it. To me, it's better than the movie. Then I got The Grey. This is a very underrated survival film. I remember watching it as a kid, and I was like, oh, that movie's just The Edge, because The Edge is one of my all-time favorite films. I've loved that movie since I was 6 years old. That's just The Edge. I don't have any interest in the movie. Rewatched it when I bought this Blu Ray. Really, really good movie. Another underrated Liam Neeson film. The Edge, beautifully shot too. Then we got Green Zone. This is Paul Greengrass and Matt Damon reconnecting outside of the Bourne series for this Bourne-esque film. I haven't watched this movie yet, but I want to. And again, this was one of those buy an extra one, get one free type deals. So I was like, I wanted to watch that movie anyway, might as well. Don't hate me for this. It's a 2-movie collection from Mill Creek. It's Hollywood Homicide and Hudson Hawk. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you look at me differently now. Hollywood Homicide gets trashed so often, but Roger Ebert gave Hollywood Homicide a positive score, and I watched it and I liked it. And this is the only way to get it on Blu Ray, so I wanted to get it. If you hate me for that, then hate me for that. But Hollywood Homicide is a good movie. Josh Hartnett is in a career resurgence, and he's good in this movie. Harrison Ford's good in this movie. It actually has a lot of funny parts. I wish it would have capitalized more on the moonlighting police than on the murder story that doesn't really go anywhere. Then we got An Innocent Man. I really like Tom Selleck. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. I love Magnum P.I. That's another TV show that I want to get. And you would have thought that he would have had a bigger career in film than he actually ends up having. But An Innocent Man, I went into this blind, never saw it before. Figured I'd give it a shot. I really do like this movie. It is a very good movie. Some people kind of don't like it. I don't know why. I felt like it's super 80s in a good way. But I enjoy that film. Then we got Body of Lies, another Leo DiCaprio film. This is actually directed by Ridley Scott. I really respect Ridley Scott's ability to transcend genres. He's if there's a genre of film, he's done it. But this is a really good, it plays a lot of the similar beats we've seen in spy movies, but I feel like Ridley Scott, Leo DiCaprio, and Russell Crowe all bring enough originality to it that makes it kind of stand out on its own, so I like this film. Then we got Bridge of Spies, another one of those in the cellophane, slip-covered films. This is Spielberg. I have not watched this movie, but I love Spielberg, and I want to give more of his true story 2000s, 2010 movie runs a chance. So I figured for $4 with a slipcover new in the cellophane might as well. Here's Robert Zemeckis' only movie between 2000 and now that isn't mocap, Flight. Really love the first half of this movie. The second half isn't as strong, but I do respect it. Denzel's great in this movie. The plane crash is super intense. I love this first half of this film. It's overall a really solid film. And the last Blu-ray we're going to talk about, there are 3 4Ks left, or 4 4Ks rather, that I have to talk about still, but this is the last Blu-ray. And this is probably my favorite Blu-ray that I bought. It was out of print, but I still only got it for $11. It's For Love of the Game. I love this movie. It's Kevin Costner. He's an aging baseball player who perhaps is about to play his last baseball game. He's about to be traded. If he continues to want to play baseball, he's going to be traded from his lifelong team, the Tigers. And his girl is leaving for London. At least I think it's London. And so he's at this crossroads as he's about to pitch his last game, possibly. I love this movie. He reflects on as he's on the mound and throughout the game, he reflects on his life. This is probably my favorite Kevin Costner baseball film, and probably one of my favorite Kevin Costner movies. I fell in love with this movie. The minute this movie ended, I knew I had to get it. I bought it pretty quickly. I watched it on Amazon Prime, and I bought it very quickly after that because I loved it that much. If you have not watched For Love of the Game, I love it. It's Sam Raimi, surprisingly. I didn't feel like Sam Raimi would be the guy to do a baseball movie, but he did, and I love it. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. For Love of the Game. So glad to have this movie, especially since it's out of print. One odd tidbit though, his name is Billy Chapel, but on the back it says Billy Campbell. And then in the synopsis of the movie, it says Billy Chapel. So why does up here does it say Billy Campbell? But either way, great film if you haven't seen it. Earlier I said that I was done with the 4Ks, I lied. Dune Part 2, had to get Dune Part 2, obviously. One of the best movies of the year. One of Denis Villeneuve's best. Everyone was talking about this movie, everyone wanted to see this movie, everyone did see this movie, so of course, gotta pick it up. And these last 3 are very unique and very special. And you'll see why as soon as I talk about them, but let me take a sip real quick first. So, I suppose we should just dive in. First one up is Priscilla, but this is 4K. Priscilla did not come out in America on 4K, but there's this great site called Zavi where you can buy UK discs, and Priscilla did come out in the UK on 4K, and I was like, you know what, just do it. Why not? Get it on watch it in the best, highest quality that you can. So I got Priscilla on 4K off of there. The same goes for Lisa Frankenstein. I watched this movie on Peacock. It pleasantly surprised me. It was actually really good. I really did enjoy it. I thought it was funny, humorous. It reminded me a lot of Heathers. I liked a lot of what it had to offer. So that came out on 4K, so I picked that one up too. And now that I said that, that reminds me of another one that I picked up on 4K, Ferrari. This is another movie that came out only on Blu Ray in America, so I picked it up off of Zavi for the 4K release in the UK. Another Michael Mann film with a really solid Adam Driver performance. And last but not least, this is a movie that some of you might envy me for. It's Killers of the Flower Moon. This movie has not come out on Blu Ray or 4K yet in America, but in Italy it got a 4K release, it got a 4K steelbook. So I picked up the 4K release just to have it. Maybe this will get a Criterion by the end of the year, I don't know. But I really needed to see it. I really wanted to see it very bad. It was eating me up inside, so I decided to buy it off of a site called Diabolic DVD. The 4K was only about 30 bucks. Thought that was a very good price, so I picked that up, and that concludes that. Anyway guys, let me know if you picked up any movies this summer. What were some of your favorite pickups, some of your favorite purchases? And let me know in the comments below any other thoughts. What was your favorite pickup that I got? But anyway, leave a like, comment, subscribe, do what you gotta do, but make sure that I see you next time in my parents' basement, your parents' basement, our parents' basement. It is getting hot in this room.